पमद बसनिद वन्दे मातरम्
बढ़ाएं हाथ और मिलकर साथ साथ सुर से सुर मिलाकर एक नए आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण करें। वंदे मातरम।
Hi everyone, I'm Kshitij Verma from the Professional Times, and I'm really glad and thrilled to talk to the members of the Music Composers Association of India, especially the key members who have actually created the history in the world for the first time by bringing in 100 composers together to create one song, and that too on the Independence Day. I mean, this is really brilliant, and to the best of my knowledge, to be in this industry, no one has created such kind of composition by inviting 100 composers virtually. So let me quickly introduce our guest, Ashish Rego, who is the secretary of MCAI. He has basically conceived and composed a song. Tapas Relia, who is the co-composition. Justin and Uday, who has also done the co-composition for the song. Anil Vanwari, who's the executive producer, and Somesh Mathur, who's also done the co-composition for the song Vande Mataram. So let me quickly jump onto the question, whose basic idea this was to bring 100 composers remotely to create and execute Vande Mataram, which is very appealing but a very difficult task during the COVID time frame.
So the idea was mine, and we composed the song on 29 July evening. And once the basic track was composed, I got the idea that the song deserved a bigger platform and could serve as conveying a very important message for Independence Day. So then we thought, why not get 100 composers together in a spirit of collaboration for this song. After that, I discussed the idea with Anil also, and I played the song to him. And Anil, can you then take it forward as to your inputs and how?
So, I talked about, that it was a great initiative in terms of bringing so many talented people together, talented music professionals and composers together. To make it more relevant to the India of today, it would be essential to bring in what is the message the nation is trying to convey, which is a self-reliant India. So we brought in the element of Atmanirbhar India, which would be coinciding with what the Prime Minister would be doing on the 15th.
Right.
And hence, they were gracious enough, the MCA was gracious enough to accept the idea and integrate it within the way the song was being done. I presume that helped in some amount of iteration of the song. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ashish.
Correct, absolutely. We decided to integrate this part, and the song itself was built on that spirit, because 100 composers coming together is a very strong message that people who are normally competitors can come together to create something beautiful, and something beautiful which is greater than any individual can do. So it's 100 individuals' magic which is created, which is very exponential to what a single person can do. That's the beauty of this song and what it exemplifies. If the same principle can be put into the Indian society, especially post-COVID, then there's nothing to stop India from becoming a resurgent world power that can be the number one in the world today.
So my thought was also that, we need to give hope to India. We are currently going through such challenging times, the country economically, and as well as, we are living in a period of fear because of the pandemic that's raging, and India is today amongst the third largest infected nations in the world with a very high number of cases. And we are growing. We probably will become the second most infected nation in the next 15 days. So it was time to give hope. And, this song was all about hope, all about, what did Vande Mataram do when it was during the freedom struggle? It became a national war cry to come out of the fetters of the British that we were entwined in. Right now we are fettered by the pandemic. So for us, we hope that the Vande Mataram would be a freedom cry for us.
So I will pass on the same questions to other members also, Justin, Uday, Somesh, and Tapas, to talk about your experience, your contribution for this making of this Vande Mataram song.
He just passed the song out to all of us, and with just a simple message saying that why don't you just record 4 or 8 bars of what you think you want to do on the song and send us an audio of it and a video of it. And I think that was it basically, I can't speak about others, but it caught me off guard, and I was really excited about it. That's that I never thought about, and I've never done anything special on Independence Day ever in my life. It's like, but then when this opportunity came on, and I was so excited by the prospect. You've heard singers coming together, but we've never heard composers coming together for a single cause. It's very rare. Singers, you heard it multiple times that so many singers came together. Singers collaborate, actors collaborate, but composers, it's unheard of. And I was so excited at this prospect because, as Anil said, that it's the message that you convey at the end of the day, which is that the spirit of brotherhood basically supersedes everything else. And when something like this happens, the competition, everything just dies down, and all you can see is the beauty for what it stands for. It's like, you just want to be a part of it, and you're excited that you're going to be amongst so many of your colleagues who have been, you've been working together for so long. So I did my bit. I asked Ashish, would you like me to do this? And he said that you're a composer, you do whatever you want to do, just send it to me, and then I'll take care for the rest of it. So I did my bit. I sent it to him, and I can't imagine what he would have gone through, because 100 people sending him audio and video tracks and then compiling that into a song. He didn't give us he didn't put any restrictions on us that this is what you have to do, this is the section. You want to write lyrics? Write lyrics. You want to do an alap? Do an alap. You want to play an instrument? Play an instrument. Do whatever you want to do, just send it to me. And that's how I ended up doing a little section of the song, send it to him. But over and above that, I got a little more excited of the whole prospect. So after I sent in my parts, I kept checking with him, and I called him that, what are you planning for the marketing? Have you done anything for the teaser? Because we need to because this 100 composers is not going out of my head, and we need to tell people that 100 composers are coming together. So he said that, I haven't really thought about it. This was a day before the release. So I said, okay. And he was tied up with a lot of stuff. So I started just dabbling around with one editing software, and this thought came in my mind that we've got 100 composers, 100 Indian composers coming together to do this. So why not make a flag out of it, out of the names, the 100 names, and just basically 100 and Indian composers. That's the idea I played around with. We launched the teaser, and that teaser set the tone. It just created that hype and that expectation that everybody was looking for, and then that's about it. That was my contribution to the whole thing.
I would like to, say that, most have been said by Ashish and Anil. And like Tapas said, we were given a free hand to do whatever we had to. And I used to always think, like Tapas said, like when we used to see singers coming in together, is there a possibility, whether, is there any chance in this country where composers can come in together? That is when, all this happened. And one thing what we understood in this process is that there is mutual love and respect among composers also, although we compete. When we are saying we stand united, it's simply not a statement, because that is seen in this collaboration. If you look at it, everything has fitted in seamlessly. It is not that anyone is trying to compete, or like in general, like, we were talking yesterday among ourselves that sometimes we may pitch for the same job, all of us, being in the same field, that is where we compete. But coming together with so much of passion and excitement, and sometimes, you feel that had we got more time, but I think it's good we got less of time, because in that a little time we wanted to do our best and give our best. And also, like Tapas said, like me, Uday, we kept on asking Ashish, what do you want? Is it fitting in correctly? Is it okay? And all that. But Ashish was very calm, composed, and he was very cool about whatever we did, So then there was a question in mind also whether was it right whatever we did, because it's a humongous task of getting 100 composers. So, but see the end result. It's like, unimaginable. The task what Ashish would have gone through of so many videos and so many audio bites coming in, and with although the basic parapet, the basic layer was set by him, the tone was set by him, but just adding in, and it's not simple mathematics like it has to be musically correct. There has to be some dynamics, there has to be a flow. Today, it's unbelievable when you see the video that some might say that, ye log bahut pehle se kaam karte aaya hoga, plan kiya hoga, but no, hardly a week, and this is it. So it's a great feeling also, because it's like, once Tapas put that teaser out, his idea was brilliant, and that really took the whole thing, expectation, feel, fact. If you look at it, it became a huge thing. There is something big is going to happen, and it did happen that. So that's the reason I think we are also here doing this interview. So thank you so much, and that's all I have to say.
Uday, would you like to add something?
The thing is, Ashish told us, can you guys help me organize few music composers from the south? I said, yeah. Few of them, I know some few of them. So I said, yeah, we'll try and do our best, and we started calling people, and surprisingly, everybody said, most of the people we approached, they said yes. We would be loved to be part of the whole venture. This looks very interesting, and everybody started doing their own bit and shooting it and sending the audio files, and we had Ashish had about a huge database now. I mean, I probably must have exhausted one full hard disk for that. And he had to do this humongous job of cutting down, selecting, chopping down, editing, a lot of things. He had to add a lot of visuals and stuff like that. And man, this has turned out like a blessing. I mean, I think it's a blessing. I think it is a superb job. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to conceive this probably. Ashish is there, and he sowed the seed. It just grew, man. It's beautiful.
Another interesting question to Ashish, because you have actually received so much of data, so much of information. So how did you seamlessly integrate so much of music and information shared by 100 composers into one song, and by looking at the credits, etc.? How did it happen?
One second, I'm going to intervene here. So this is not the first time he's doing this. He composed the Indian Tele Award song for me 20 years ago almost, or 18 years ago. So he was a composer of that. So he's used to working with musicians. I told Shaan to come into the studio. Shaan came in, he called in Mahalakshmi Iyer, he called in a few people. He called somebody to play the guitar, somebody to play, he's used to this. But 100, God bless us. Continue, Ashish.
And even doing the virtual kind of things, during the pandemic time, it's a big thing.
Yeah, so I think the song also symbolizes the new way of working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is probably how the future is going to be, collaboration across the globe, and not just in India, because all it takes is a recording in your own space and a video shot from there, and history can be created from that. So through this aspect, I think we've already shown the way to people how work needs to be done in the future. I mean, considering that COVID is here to stay for some time and it's not dissipating. So I mean, as Anil said, 20 years back, 18 years back, had that experience, and I think we just took it to another level with respect to the song. Getting collaboration from each of the artists was the most important. And the energy, enthusiasm, and passion with each composer sent in their parts, and it's just visible in the song. The song is all about passion and energy, and the creation process. That's why we say that the song symbolizes creation, collaboration, and contribution and celebration. You can see the celebration in the song. People are just enjoying when they were doing the song. Right. They were dancing. They were just singing out. So that's what the song symbolizes on Independence Day. That spirit is what it exemplifies. And actually, the most important part also of a song, as I said earlier, is the media and publicity activity and blitz that goes out after the song is created. Creating the song is one thing, and Anil took care of that part also. So that is something which also, I mean, if you see the visibility of the song across all media, is huge.
So, what happened is I reached out to my friends across the industry. I've been in this industry for about 40 years now. I'm an old man compared to all of them put together. I'm in my late 50s. All these gentlemen are very, very young. All of them are in their 40s. And so I reached out to all my friends across, whether it was a TV station, whether it was a radio station, or whether it was MTV. And they all agreed. They said they love the concept of 100 musicians. And I didn't have to ask again. They all said yes at one go. And we did partnerships with them. There was TV9, which came in as a news channel partner. There was MTV, which came in as a music channel partner. There was Inten, which came on again as a media partner, which is having Showbox and other channels, Filmchi. I also reached out to Big FM going forward, and then reached out to my own company has several platforms: radioandmusic.com, indiantelevision.com, telechecker.com. These have millions and millions of readers and viewers. So in fact, Radio and Music is bigger than Rolling Stone in India. Not many people know it, but we are big, massive. We keep a very low profile. So we had all these partners in place, and Big FM agreed to play out stuff. I think the interviews happened yesterday. So it's going to be a longer campaign. The idea is to, my objective was, from the beginning, I was clear that this is going to be scale. I don't think Ashish realized the scale he was working with. When he wrote on Facebook that I never imagined, I told him I always imagined it's going to be this big. You didn't, but I imagined it was going to be this big. So maybe my belief and his focus on composing the song worked together to make it big. And also the rest of the music composers, their belief in Ashish, in what he was doing. So we got the message out. I got in a PR agency, Communicate India, who I called them up on the 14th night. I told them, listen, guys, they're my agency, my PR agency. They do a lot of work for us, and they do a lot of work for some of the biggest clients in India. I told them, listen, we've got this fabulous initiative from the Music Composer Association of India, 100 different blokes getting together, very talented blokes. Don't take offense to me when I call you blokes. It's just an expression. So getting together to create something for India as a gift on Independence Day to the nation. So what do you think of the ideas? She said, the owner, Akshara, said, I'm on board. Please send me the stuff. And after that, everything went rolling. When people saw it I posted it on Facebook. I got calls from America. They played it out on a TV station in America, on a radio station in America. I don't even know. I'll get the links coming up later. And that's not through the PR agency. That's through my own connectivity, which is there on Facebook and on my LinkedIn, etc. So, the world accepted it because they saw the love and the passion and the effort which went into it. And the thought that went into it. The thought was very clear. It was to create something collaboratively and then give it back to the world. Give it back to Indians, give it back to the world. I've had foreigners downloading, taking the song from me on through Facebook and sharing it with other foreigners. They loved it so much. So hats off to everyone who's been associated with the project, and hats off to you for taking up this as an interview with the team. I'm sure it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, when you guys were creating and when you're listening and getting the results and the feedback from the people, it's fabulous, out of the box kind of feeling. I'm sure there were many other people who wanted to contribute. Wilderness Films wanted to give videos, excepting we came in too late because their offices were shut. They open on every alternate day. They have the largest library of videos. That could have come in, but finally the India part, showing shots of India with the musicians jumping for joy. I remember one guy rowing. Who's that?
Yeah, Casey Loy.
Casey, what an amazing shot, man. What a shot. I just love it.
Yeah, that was too infectious. Very infectious.
Beautiful. Guru Kiran dancing.
Yeah, Guru dancing.
That was phenomenal. Phenomenal. There was an entire incident about that shot. In fact, Guru Kiran had sent his audio files and forgotten to send his video. And he left on a vacation from Bangalore to Mangalore. And we realized we don't have the video. So we called him at the entire and he said, but I'm in Bangalore. How can I do my shots? I don't have my equipment here. So we said, but we need the video. So he booked an entire chroma shooting floor. And he shot the thing there with a chroma keyed background and everything.
On his holiday.
Yeah, on his holiday. I mean, can you imagine that sense of dedication and involvement in a project from somebody who's not in Mumbai, but somebody who's in Bangalore at that point in time? It's phenomenal.
My last question to all of you is, in this pandemic time frame, did a few of you met personally, like in anyone's recording studio, and planned a strategy for the song? And was it or was it completely and executed remotely? I mean, how did it happen? Like, was it completely virtual, or like you planned somewhere?
I'm not even in Mumbai right now. I'm in Florida. So, and I've been doing everything I can do to performances. And
that since Somesh can't speak or he cannot be heard, I'd like to elaborate on his role further in the project.
Please.
Like, he's also a co-producer on the project, and when I narrated the project to him, he was responsible for getting most of the folk artists, classical artists, and singer-composers on board to the project.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he sold the idea to them. He got them on board. And at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of that, because see, a folk singer and a classical singer is also a composer, because the rendition that they do at any point is an original expression. Right. Yeah, so we acknowledge that aspect in the song itself. Yeah. And Somesh ji himself being an exemplary classical singer, you've heard his voice in the beginning of the song. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And from there, taking it further, and let's not forget that it was Somesh ji's tweet that got the PM's attention.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
That is what took the song to another level. Though Tapas, Justin and Uday are in Mumbai at the moment, still none of us have actually met.
Oh, this was all done virtually.
Yeah. Everything was done virtually, and I haven't met any of the collaborators in the project physically as such. So except for, you can say, the guitarist who played on the track, one of them, and one of the violinists who were there. The rest is everything, all the composers, none of them met. Everybody was sitting in their own space, composing, executing, shooting their own videos and sending it. As far as a COVID showcase goes, yes, I think this is a great showcase for
as good as it can get. This is as apt as it can get. I mean, in terms of sheer scale or content or the numbers, whatever you want to call it, this is how we do it.
It actually shows that despite anything that happens in life, in which we feel that there are obstacles and inabilities to proceed, there's always a way. And I think the video shows it. Because, I mean, maybe getting 100 composers to collaborate on a project without COVID would not be possible. That's possible because we would attempt to get everybody into one space.
Yeah,
true, very true.
Yeah, but COVID showed us that there's a digital way to do things.
Correct.
And despite each one not leaving their own spaces, a song with 100 composers together can be created, edited, produced, and released. And to such impact and emotion and love that has come out from the masses. Right. And culminating in a tweet from the PM himself. So the ultimate appreciation from the nation. So beautiful. Every individual sitting here, I'd also like to specially mention Vipin Mishra, who the contribution of every person of this team is basically adding much more value, much more value than they were asked to do. That's why I say that it's a blessing to have a beautiful team. And the team just came through together. It wasn't planned. Each person contributed on their own. That's the spirit of contribution of this team. Yeah, without asking anything in return. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, so when we say creation, the entire process of the song, collaboration, 100 composers coming together. Contribution, this is contribution. There's creative contribution, plus there is doing whatever it takes to make things happen. That spirit that this team has. Vipin Mishra provided lyrics to the song despite not having been asked to do it.
True.
Yeah, and such beautiful words he got through. And it was a pleasant surprise. I never asked anybody for lyrics, but he came through with it. Yeah, Tapas came through with the promotions. Justin Uday came through by getting the entire South onto the song and their beautiful vocal riff, which they created. And Somesh came through with so many folk singers, composers, and also the famous tweet. So, and I would say that teamwork makes the dream work. So, that's exactly what this entire exercise is.
Thank you everyone for your time, and I again congratulate the entire team and my best wishes for the entire team. And we hope that in future we will be seeing a lot of bigger and larger thing. The kind of base you have set now, we will be seeing very wonderful creative work from all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye everybody. Bye. 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 Bye.